Have you ever been asked a question that sounded normal on the surface, but something inside you felt uneasy right away? The words were polite, the tone was calm, but your stomach tightened like an alarm bell. It felt less like a question and more like a trap. If you felt that before, you're not being paranoid. You're noticing a manipulation signal. Here's something most people don't realize. Skilled liars don't only lie with statements. They often lie with questions. They use certain questions to confuse you, shift blame, and control the direction of the conversation. Instead of defending their behavior, they make you defend your reaction. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 common questions manipulators and dishonest people often use. These questions may sound harmless, but they are designed to twist the situation in their favor. Once you learn to recognize them, you'll save your time, your energy, your confidence, and sometimes even your money and relationships. Stay with me because each one builds your awareness a little more, and by the end, you'll start hearing these questions very differently. Let's start with the first one. Why are you being so dramatic? Picture this, you catch someone in a lie. Maybe they broke a promise. Maybe they said something behind your back. You bring it up calmly. Instead of explaining, they say, "Why are you being so dramatic?" Notice what just happened. The focus quietly moved away from what they did and landed on how you reacted. Your concern becomes the problem. Your emotion becomes the crime. This is a classic blame shift move. It's like setting off a smoke bomb in a room so nobody can see the fire anymore. Now the conversation is about your tone, your mood, your reaction, not their behavior. A simple truth to remember. Pointing out a real issue is not drama, it's communication. When someone labels your concern as dramatic too quickly, they may be trying to escape responsibility. Watch for this flip, it happens fast. And if you don't catch it, you end up defending your feelings instead of discussing the facts. Let's move to the second question. Do you even trust me? This question often shows up right when evidence or suspicion appears. Instead of answering your concern, they throw this question at you like a spotlight in your eyes. Suddenly, you're not talking about their suspicious behavior anymore. Now you're being tested on loyalty. You feel pressure to prove you are trusting, supportive, and fair. The topic changes from their action to your character. This is emotional leverage. It sounds vulnerable, but it works like a shield. A trustworthy person usually shows honesty through consistent behavior. They don't need to demand trust in the middle of an accusation. Trust grows from patterns, not from speeches. Think of trust like a bridge built from many small boards. Each honest action adds one board. One dramatic question cannot replace missing boards. If someone avoids your question and replaces it with, "Do you even trust me?" Pause mentally. That pause protects your clarity. Now here's the third question. So what do you want me to say? This one sounds tired and helpless on purpose. It creates the image that they are overwhelmed and you are being too demanding. But listen closely to the hidden message. It says, "Tell me the correct line so I can say it and escape." Instead of speaking honestly, they ask you to write their response for them. It's like a student asking for the answer key instead of solving the problem. Real accountability sounds different. It sounds specific, clear, direct. When someone truly understands they did wrong, they can describe it without needing coaching. This question is often used to create guilt in you. You start softening, you start helping them explain, and slowly the pressure disappears. Not because truth came out, but because the moment passed. If you hear this question, remind yourself, honesty does not need a script. Truth does not need rehearsal. Let's continue. The fourth question. Can we just move on already? At first, this sounds peaceful and mature. Moving forward is good, right? Yes, but only after responsibility is acknowledged. Skipping accountability is not healing, it is hiding. Imagine spilling ink on a white shirt and then folding the shirt so the stain is inside. You didn't clean it, you just hid it. That's what forced moving on looks like in a dishonest conversation. Manipulators dislike long discussions about their behavior because time exposes cracks in their story. So they rush the ending. They push for closure without correction. Healthy resolution has steps: truth, responsibility, repair, then moving forward. Remove the middle steps and the problem repeats. You are allowed to take time to understand what happened. You are allowed to finish the conversation properly. Calm does not mean quick. Calm means clear. Now the fifth question. Are you really going to throw everything away over this? This is a guilt-loaded question. It frames your boundary as destruction. It paints your self-respect as overreaction. The message underneath is, if you continue, you are the villain. Notice the scale trick here. Your single concern is compared against everything. You know, the whole relationship, the whole history, the whole future. That's emotional magnification. But healthy relationships are not destroyed by honest questions. They are strengthened by them. What truly destroys relationships is repeated dishonesty and ignored boundaries. boundaries. Think of boundaries like the walls of a house. They are not there to keep love out. They are there to keep safety in. If someone asks you to remove the walls to prove you care, they are asking for access without responsibility. When you hear this question, ground yourself in one simple principle. Protecting your dignity is not throwing things away. It is choosing what deserves to stay. Let's step back and look at the pattern you just learned. Manipulative liars often use questions instead of explanations. Questions can redirect attention. Questions can create guilt. Questions can put you on trial. Their goal is not discovery. Their goal is control of the story. Once you see the pattern, conversations change. You stop chasing their framing. You return to the original issue. You keep the spotlight steady. It's like switching from being inside the maze to standing above it. From above, the tricks are easier to see. Here's a simple mental tool. When a question makes you feel suddenly defensive, rushed, or guilty, slow down internally. Ask yourself, did this question answer anything, or did it just move pressure onto me? That one pause can save you from emotional traps. You don't need to argue loudly. You don't need clever comebacks. Calm awareness is enough. Calm is hard to manipulate. If you value clear thinking, emotional self-defense, psychology, and honest communication, this channel is built for that mindset. Stay connected and keep sharpening your awareness. Let me leave you with one final thought. You don't need to fear manipulative questions once you can recognize them. Awareness turns confusion into clarity, and clarity is calm power. The next time someone asks a question that feels like a trap, don't panic, don't rush, just notice. When you notice the pattern loses its grip. Stay steady, stay aware, and protect your peace.